Even there are stories, my dear viewers, which belong to the thieves, and a thief's story is here today to make us more interesting with this explanation and make this learning experience a worth learning experience with thrill. That is where we have the story, The Thief's Story. The story, The Thief by Ruskin Bond, is based on the theme of friendship, betrayal, aspirations, connection, trust, guilt, change, kindness, loyalty, revenge, and honesty. All these are the themes. The story is based on the fact that how love and kindness can transform even the most destructive minds of criminals and the thief in this cruel world. You know, all these good qualities, kindness and all that, can transform even the most destructive minds of the criminal. That can also be taking place, it can also happen, that can also take place rather, because kindness has got some kind of a special strength that can change anybody's life, even the life of all those cruel and criminal and all these people full of menace. I was still a thief when I met Anil. He met Anil and he was only 15. And I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. He says that even though my age was 15, but then still I was very successful and experienced person in terms of being a thief. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. Anil was just an ordinary guy, and it was his work like go to people and then talk to them, be friendly with them, and then commit looting over them. Just cheat these people and then take money. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. And he thought that this guy is all okay because he's a very sober person. And he met him there, this author met him there in one of the wrestling matches. And then he sees that this person is very simple, sober. He's a nice, vulnerable person. He can be played tricks over, and an easy person to approach it for the purpose of course, stealing and all that. I hadn't had much luck of late, and though thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence, and he thought that it will be easy to get into his confidence, and that will be easier for him to further go and take him into his confidence and then do all the crime. So he started his conversation with this: "You look a bit of wrestler yourself," I said. "A little flattery helps in making friends." And he says, this thief says that I begin praising people. And then when I praise people, I just, use flattery as one of my weapons that makes people friendly. And then people start talking. Everybody likes, of course, if somebody praises them. So he starts with praising people. So here he goes to Anil and he says, "You look like a wrestler yourself." "So do you," he replied. And then Anil also said that even you look like a wrestler. Now this boy, the thief, is offended by this comment because he is very skinny, very, very, very thin fellow, which put me off for a moment, and he feels little off, upset, because at that time I was rather thin. "Well," I said modestly, "I do wrestle a bit." But then he did not feel offended because he had to continue talking and be friends and then go to his house and steal money. So that's why he said, "Yeah, there was a time when I used to be wrestling. I do wrestling still even." "What's your name?" Now Anil, the person whom he is approaching for stealing purpose, is asking this boy, the thief, "What's your name?" And then he gives a fake name. "Hari Singh," I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers and who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. And then after knowing names and all that general communication, they started talking about this fellow Anil, started talking about the wrestlers and the way they are just putting tricks for winning the game. And then they were just talking normally. I did not have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. "Hello again," he said. And then he did not have much to speak, so he again went here and there, and then again he met Anil at the same place after some time, and then he said hello again. I gave him my most appealing smile, and he smiled nicely. "I want to work for you." And then he started. First thing he asked was like, you look like a wrestler and all that. And now the second question he says is like, can I work for you? Do you have some work for me? Yeah, I said, but I can't pay you. I thought that over for a minute. And then the Sunil fellow said, I can give you work, but then I have no money to pay. Perhaps I misjudged my man. He thought that I am actually talking to a wrong person. He has no money. What will I go? What will I do going to such a place, such a person's house who has no money? What will I steal there? He thinks. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? Said, if you can cook, I can feed you. I can cook, I lied again. And then he told a lie that, yeah, I can cook. You just take me to your home. Because his purpose was just to go, enter his house and just take money, steal. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. Anil said that no problem, Hari Singh. I can feed you, but you have to cook for me. That also is telling lie. This fellow Hari Singh, he did not know. He's just a boy. He does not know how to cook and all that. All he was interested was in stealing. He took me to his room over Jamna's sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to stray dog and then told me to be off. Then went together to his house, and then Anil was very upset that night because this boy cooked very horrible food, which ultimately was to be given to the dogs, stray dogs, and then they both slept. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way. He could not help laughing, and he laughed a lot that you were telling that you can cook food. Is this what you cooked? Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me how to cook. He said, don't worry.
To watch the complete video, download the Upbind educational app from Play Store and App Store.